Hey friends and neighbors, remember this angle? Today is December 1st, 2016. And, you know, I'm not really sure what this is. I just kind of decided I wanted to do a vlog. So today I have the day off of work, and tomorrow I have the day off of work. And so for today at least, I'm going to be running some errands and getting some things done, which is typically what I do when I have the day off of work. That just makes sense. And I need to move around the surprising number of cars there are in my apartment complex right now. That's weird. And I thought I would take you with me while I'm running those errands. Oh yeah, the lighting changes. I remember those. To be clear, this is not a vlog driver video in the sense of it's going to take place entirely inside the car. It's just going to follow me throughout the day, and I just happen to be in the car right now. Hat in the Hat. I'd vote for that. Okay, that's funny. Actually, that's a pretty good segue, because I have been thinking quite a bit about events of recent weeks, and how I want to respond to them. Because watching Donald Trump be elected president has made me want to do something. And I'm still not entirely sure what that something is, but it primarily involves talking. Because, I mean, that's my whole catchphrase, basically, is I talk stuff. And when I first started vlogging, that was essentially what I did. Like, I talk stuff. That was basically because I didn't really know on any given day what I was going to talk about. The vlog, the channel, Banging 8408, and even Vlog Driver to a certain extent, they didn't really have a particular direction. It was just I would turn the camera on and do whatever I felt like doing or talk about whatever was on my mind on that particular day. That was what I did on YouTube. That was how I first gained a following, and that eventually morphed into the reviewing channel that Banging 8408 is now, and the basically silent channel that this is now. And I don't want to lose what I've got on Banging 8408. I don't want to stop doing reviews. I don't want to stop the storyline. I want to keep all of that going because I really do enjoy doing those things. I should probably have my headlights on. It's a little dingy out today. But at the same time, I also recognize that it doesn't leave a lot of room for me to talk about, I don't want to say things that actually matter, because I do think that stories matter, but things in the real world. Things like my political beliefs or my religious beliefs, or things that if I say them might cause a little bit of controversy. But I think it's time for me to start making those statements. I think I need to get myself out there and start voicing my opinions on things and sharing my thoughts on certain issues, because I really do believe that one of the big reasons why Donald Trump got elected, and you know, there are people trying to figure out what exactly happened to get him elected, and there are all sorts of theories, and I think all of them have a certain amount of validity. But one of the big things I think that led to Donald Trump getting elected is the silent majority. And I don't mean that in the same way that Donald Trump means it, or even in the same way that Richard Nixon meant it when he first used it. I mean a group of people who have opinions, who have thoughts on issues, but don't share them for a variety of reasons. They don't think that they're very political, or they don't think that their opinions matter in any way, or they're just afraid to because they don't want to cause controversy. They don't want to rock the boat in any way. And I think I was kind of a part of that silent majority. I didn't used to be. I used to share my opinions all the time, like probably more than I should have. But I kind of got out of the habit of doing that, and I don't really know why. I think part of it was because I didn't want to upset anybody. I think part of it was that I didn't feel I was well enough informed on certain things to form an opinion on them. But I would like to get back to doing that, because I do think that I, and really everybody, has a unique viewpoint that can allow for those opinions to have validity. And one of the things that I think is going to be a big part of Donald Trump's presidency is the silencing of people who don't agree with him. Not in the, creepy, scary way, although I won't rule that out either, but just in the fact that people are going to be too afraid to voice their opinions, or they're going to be put down for voicing their opinions, or people are going to intimidate them into not sharing their opinions. Tripod falling over. And I don't want to be afraid to share my thoughts for any reason, and I want to make sure that my voice is heard so that maybe it can inspire other people who might also be afraid to speak or intimidated to speak out to also make their voices heard. And I realize that I'm a part of the demographic who has the least amount to fear from a Trump presidency and the least amount to fear from making my voices heard. I'm a straight white male. I'm about as privileged as it's possible to get in this country. But I also do think, I'm going to merge because the semi is not letting me over. But I also do think that it's important to share my own opinions because they don't mesh with the typical straight white male, at least if the demographics of the election are to be believed. Now, you are tailgating a minivan, sir, and you are a semi. That's not okay. That's really profoundly not okay. See, there, I had an opinion on that semi driver, and I shared it. So, yeah. I don't want you to get out in front of this jackass, too. Go ahead. There you go. And so one of the things I considered doing was using this channel as kind of a platform to share opinions on other issues, on more controversial issues, on issues not related to reviewing books and movies and that sort of thing. And I think also I miss vlogging. Like I've said that over and over again, that I really miss vlogging. I miss just talking about my life and about what I'm thinking on any given day to the camera. I miss doing that, and we're coming up on the 10-year anniversary of the beginning of Brotherhood 2.0, of the Vlog Brothers. That's going to be in January. Will have been 10 years since they've started. It's been 10 years since Zay Frank's The Show. 10 years ago, vlogging was just becoming a very, very big thing, and I mean, it's still a thing, but I think it's kind of either a commonplace thing or a thing that where the fad has kind of passed. And I would like to get back into it. I would like to do more vlogging on this channel like I originally said I was going to be doing on this channel, and do something where I can give you more of an insight into who I am, not as a character I'm being a giddy 408, but who I am as Matt Guyon. I know I've said that before, and this might just be another one of those where I say I'm going to do the thing, and then I don't end up doing the thing, and it just kind of fizzles away like a lot of my ideas. But I want to at least try. I think if you have the idea and you don't do it because you're afraid you're going to fail at it, then it's worse off than if you try and fail. So the thought I had was that for the year 2017, since it's going to be a pivotal year for a lot of reasons, not just for the country, but also just in my life personally, I would attempt to make a vlog every weekday in the year of 2017, which is a pretty big undertaking. That's a pretty big project, and it's a little intimidating for me to say that I'm going to do that. I need to get off this exit because I work a full-time job, and I have a wife, and I have a dog to take care of, and various other things that I do, and adding a video every weekday to the mix might be a little much. But then I think, I did vlog every day in September for the past couple of years, reasonably successfully, not as successfully in 2015 because of unrelated issues, but yeah, I did that, and that turned out pretty well. I just finished NaNoWriMo, where I had to write every day, and that turned out pretty well too. But I think what's key about those things is that it's 1 month. I take it 1 month at a time. And so what I was thinking for maybe the month of December, I'd do kind of a dry run. So I'm going to attempt to do a vlog every day in the month of December. I'm saying this out loud, and that means I'm actually going to do it. I'm going to try to do a video on this channel every weekday in the month of December, just to see how it goes. To be clear, when I say every weekday in the month of December, that doesn't include holidays, although Christmas falls on a Sunday this year, so that's actually immaterial, so whatever. So what's going to come of this? I don't know. I honestly don't. Some of the videos might be sharing some thoughts on things that are happening in the world. They might be thoughts on unrelated issues. I might talk about my job a little bit, although I can't talk about it too much for legal reasons. That sounded way more... That sounded way like I'm working for the CIA or something. No, it's just that there's a clause in my contract where I can't talk about certain aspects of my job. It's a secrecy thing, or whatever. Or I might just take you through my day and the things that I'm doing on any given day and share that with you. And yeah, whatever, that sort of thing. And they're not all going to be vlog driver style. It just happens to be what I'm doing right now. And again, I don't know if anything's going to come of this. I might not even make it through this month, or I might get to the end of this month and decide there's no earthly way I'm going to do this for an entire year, and we'll call it good from there. But for now, that is what I am going to do for now. So, yeah, this kind of wishy-washiness is why I never get anything done. I'm going to do this. It's going to happen. Yes. This is my exit. Okay, and with that, I am going to turn off the camera and go see my therapist. Bye. And now, onward to the next thing. I have to get an oil change. So I'm going to go do that, and yeah, oil change. Before I shut the camera off, I said that I was going to see my therapist, and that wasn't a joke. I am actually seeing a therapist, and I have been for the last couple years, I want to say now. I've never actually talked about this on YouTube before, and I kind of wanted to. I've been toying with doing that for a while now, and I guess now's as good a time as any. But I am seeing a therapist for anxiety and depression, which I have been struggling with probably realistically for my entire life, but more acutely over the past 3-4 years now. I'm not going to get into that too deeply in this video, just because it's probably going to be long enough already, and that should really be a topic for a separate video. But yeah, that's a thing that I've been dealing with, but I'm seeing a therapist, and it's going really well, and I've made some great improvements over the past couple of years, and yeah, so that's a thing in my life. But what I had to do in my session today was talk about all the things that I appreciate and love about myself for about 20-25 minutes, which is not an easy thing for me to do. There are plenty of things that I like about myself, and there are plenty of things that I appreciate about myself, but talking about them for an extended period of time is not something that I'm terribly comfortable with, because I love me some self-deprecation. I do tend to be very hard on myself and critical of myself, and that might be part of the reason why a lot of my ideas never get much farther than the initial stages, because I start to think, oh, no one's gonna like this is stupid, blah, blah, blah. And so combating that will hopefully help me not only to deal with my anxiety and depression, but also maybe to get some more projects finished and seen through to their completion. Speaking of those projects, some of the things that I am really hoping I will be able to do in the year 2017. Air conditioning on. Why do I have my air conditioning on? It's like 40 degrees out. First thing, I would really like to be able to send a completed manuscript off to a publisher, or at the very least an agent. I'm not going to say that I'm going to have something published in 2017, because that's a long process and it's very much out of my control, but I want to at least get the process started. I said I was going to do that in 2016, and then that didn't happen, so we're going to try again for 2017. Not try. Do or do not, there is no try. We're going to do it! I actually do have a story that I have been working on. I've actually been working on the revision of that story. It was my Nano story from 2 years ago, I want to say. It's called Reflections, and it's about, actually I'm not going to tell you what it's about, but it's a story that I've been working on and that's very personal to me, and I'm going to hopefully finish, we're not gonna use words like hopefully. I am going to finish the revision of it and send a completed manuscript off to agents and various people who I need to send them off to in 2017. That is a thing that I am going to do. Second thing, and for this one I am going to say hopefully, because I actually haven't decided whether I want to do this yet, but one of the things that I would kind of like to do in 2017, I would like to run a marathon. So you might not know this about me, but I am something of a runner. I actually just last week for Thanksgiving ran a 10K, and 2 weeks before that I ran a half marathon, and it was actually my second of both of those races, my second 10K and my second half marathon. And I enjoy running, and I enjoy being in races, and I'd like to see about maybe taking the next step and running a full marathon, 26.2 miles. The question is not necessarily whether I can do it, because I think that I can. It's whether I want to do it, whether I actually want to put in the effort and training to run 26.2 miles, or if 13.1, a half marathon, is good enough for me. Either way, I do want to do more running and run more races, because a lot of the races that I run are for very good causes. For example, the half marathon that I ran is to raise money for Honor Flights, which is a program that flies veterans of wars, currently World War II, out to the memorial in Washington, D.C. so they can see the memorial of their war. World War II is happening right now. They also have plans to fly Korean veterans out, Vietnam veterans out, to see their memorials in D.C. And I think it's very important for veterans of these wars to see how they are remembered, how their war is remembered, and to see that they do have value, and that their war has value, and that their country is proud of them for serving. One other thing that I'm kind of toying with and playing around with is, it kind of goes back to that whole 1 month at a time thing, which is the premise of this particular vlog, which is to take the creative energy behind NaNoWriMo and apply it to other months in the year. So kind of what I want to do is I'm going to merge first. So kind of what I want to do with this is to pick a creative project every month and focus all of my creative energy on that for that month. Not necessarily on completing it. I didn't complete my NaNoWriMo story from this year. I got like a third of the way through it. Not necessarily to complete it, but to make decent headway on it, to put work and time into it, and then move on to something else in the following month. Because what often happens with me with creative projects is I just kind of get burned out on them, I lose interest in them, and then want to move to something else. And so in this one, I'm, again, taking it 1 month at a time. I'm spending 1 month working on one particular thing, and then moving on to something else so I don't get burned out on it. This month, for December, I'm actually working on writing a Mass/Advent candlelight service. It's kind of a combination. Religion is a topic that we're going to talk about more in this vlog as well. Not this vlog, but this vlogging series. At some point, I will make a video about religion. So those are kind of the three big things. Run a marathon, start the process of getting a book published, and work on a new creative project every month. We'll see how that goes. No, we will do it. We won't see how it goes. We will do it. Confidence! Okay, so I'm going to get my oil changed and spend some time in the area where my oil is getting changed, and then I'm going to come back home, and I'm going to do a little bit of filming for Bangkok 8408, which is why I have Arcana stuff in the back of the car. And as such, I want to make sure that I'm not using up all of my battery on this. So I'm actually going to shut the camera off for now, and I will turn it back on later in the day. Okay, oil is changed, but change of plans because I am very quickly losing daylight because the sun goes down at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon now. So I am not going to be doing the filming I was going to do today because it requires outside shots. And so therefore, I am going to head home by way of the library, where I will return some books that need to be returned. And then I found out via text message from my wife, we are going to go see The Phantom of the Opera tonight, which is showing at the theater down the street from our apartment, and which my wife managed to score some free tickets for from a coworker. So that's happening tonight. I have never seen Phantom of the Opera. A lot of you probably know my opinions on Andrew Lloyd Webber and his musicals. Phantom of the Opera is the musical that I find the least objectionable. And it is one that I'm kind of interested in seeing, just to see how they pull it off with all the staging and stuff. And my wife has told me that it is really something to see live, so I'm looking forward to that. But this also means that I don't have to worry about saving the battery on my camera for filming later, because I'm not going to be filming until tomorrow. So I could talk about more stuff. What else do I want to talk about? I don't know, I feel like this video is already pretty long already, and it's basically just me talking in the car, and as much as I said it wasn't going to be a vlog driver video, it basically turned into a vlog driver video, because I don't think I've filmed anything outside the car yet today. There is actually one more thing that I wanted to mention, and I'll probably mention this again, because not everyone's necessarily going to watch this entire video, but I have been doing a podcast with my friend Jesse, Coded Lock Films. We've been doing it for the last, I don't know, 7 or 8 months now, I think. It's a monthly podcast where we talk about stories and so on, and it's usually released on the third Friday of every month. However, this month we are going to be releasing it a week early. We're going to be releasing it on December the 9th to coincide with this year's Project for Awesome, because we are actually going to spend our podcast talking about the charities that we're going to pick this year for Project for Awesome in a little bit more detail. So you will, of course, learn more about that come December 9th, and that will be the video on my Banking 8408 channel, of course. But for those of you watching on this channel, it's important for you to know that as well, I guess. Although you probably also watch Banking 8408. Is there anyone who watches this channel and doesn't watch Banking 8408? Let me know in the comments if you do. And other than that, I think that's pretty much all I have to say today. I've talked a lot, and I could talk about pretty much anything else, but I think I'm going to save most of those topics for another video. But that's basically it, and this is probably primarily what these videos are going to look like for this month, although hopefully not all of them will take place inside the car, because I would like to show a little bit more than just the inside of my car. By the way, old-time Vlog Driver viewers might notice that you can actually hear me inside this car. That's because the old Vlog Driver mobile is no more. It actually broke down about 3 years ago now, and so I'm driving this car that is much, much nicer. So yeah, you can actually hear what I'm saying. And on that note, I think I'm going to leave it here. So until tomorrow, hopefully, not hopefully, until tomorrow, friends and neighbors. Actually, I'm going to call you something different. I think for this channel, I'm not going to call you friends and neighbors. I'm going to save that for my larger Banking 8408 video. For this channel, I think I'm just going to call you friends, because it's a smaller, more intimate group on this channel. So until tomorrow, friends, see you later. I got really schmaltzy at the end. Hope people don't unsubscribe.